What are you doing?
Well, I was going to sand off this piece of plate a little, and I was going to work on it. And I thought, well, okay, let's talk about sandpaper a little bit. In the good old days, you used to use just the sanding disc, just a little single sheet of paper, basically, with a light backing on it, and it would go on a rubber backing pad that would go onto your grinder, and that's what you'd work with. Somewhere along the line, I didn't find out about this until much later, they came out with Flapdiscs. And Flapdiscs are just basically little pieces of sandpaper that are glued to a backing, and you just change them like a regular disc, but there's lots more paper there. Instead of a single sheet, there's lots of sheets. They last a lot longer. Come in all kinds of grits, from I think about 36 grit up into the 120s, 160s, 200s. Sometimes you can find them for finish work. Great little tool, great little consumable that you can use.
Which grits do you use, Cap?
Well, I use everything from a 40 grit up to 60 grit, and there's about 120. I think that's about the finest I would normally go, is 120 grit. Because boy, the difference between hitting it with 40 grit and the 120s. Oh man, what a difference. This will polish it just about, where this really leaves some gur marks in it. And that's what you call them, is gur marks, because when you put them in, then you go, because now I got to take them back out again. Yeah. These go on the backing pad, the metal backer that would go on to your grinder, and then just put the retaining nut on it, tighten it down, you're good to go. They also come with the metal backing already molded to it, so you just unscrew it. Here it is, all set, ready to go. You don't have to worry about where the backing plate is. You don't have to worry about if you got the right nut or not. It's all set right there. Put it on, screw it down, get to work. You want to see what kind of mess it makes? I mean, what kind of job it does? So because you're grinding, safety glasses, dust mask, gloves, all the time.
What are you going to grind with first, Cap?
Well, I put some of that, I put the 40 grit pad on there. So I thought, let me do that. I can get the rust off, I can get the scale off, and then you can see just bare metal, and then I'll polish it a little. I'll go up in grit. Up in grit, so it gets finer and finer and finer, and you can see how it'll take the scratches out. Boy, that nice 40 grit, that takes it off really quick. But it does leave some gur marks in it. Come a little closer and look, you can see all the scratches in it. So let me change the pad, and we'll go with something a little lighter, and I'll do just a little strip and show you how it changes from one to the next. So that was the 40 grit. Now we've got the 80 grit in there. Can you see the difference? So now I put the 120 on. Let's just do a little area and you can see the difference that'll make. A little more polished. Come here and get a good look at it straight down where the glare's not on it. And you can see it's a lot shinier right there than it is there or there. So what are you doing? What metal are you working on? What finish do you want to have? All depends on what kind of grit you get, what kind of paper you get. There are many different varieties of sanding discs or flat discs. Some are made specifically for steel, some are made for aluminum, some are made for brass or bronze or You got to do your research. Know what you're working on. Know what your tool is capable of doing. Know which size you need. Know what size arbor you have on your grinder. Is it a big one, a little one? You got to have that dimension before you go order it. So a very flat profile. This one you would use just about flat down on the metal, just maybe a few degrees up. This one has a much more much bigger angle on it, so you can grind with it at a bigger bit more of an angle with your grinder. You don't have to be down flat. You can be up in the air. That puts more weight on the grinder, puts more weight on the pad, makes it cut faster, makes it, practice, guys. Practice, practice, practice. That's all we can do. Hope that clears things up. See ya.